Okay, go for it.
Okay, welcome Team Empower. We are so excited everyone is here. We have some new people on the call, which we are super excited about. Michelle Rosanello, welcome. And we have Heather, who was on the Team Inspire call, but this is her first Empower call, so yay! We're excited about that. And for those of you who don't know, Heather is Kendra's sister, and she signed up under Kendra. So Kendra's newer too. She's one of the newer coaches on the team, and Heather signed up with her under her. So just so you guys know. And also, as another announcement, is that you probably saw it, but Stacy Miller, who was Stacy Perry's coach, hit Emerald today. So that's a big deal. So congratulations to her. We're so excited. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll through. All right, so let's jump in. First thing I want to talk about is actually inviting. We will get to the questions that that Heather Abbott asked, but there was that inviting thread going on today. So I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. So just to recap really quick, there has been some of us, most of us, who say that we're uncomfortable with the inviting process, which Lacey and I totally get, especially in the beginning when you're working in your warm market. It's uncomfortable. You don't want to come across as salesy. That is the biggest thing new coaches tell us, and that we felt ourselves, was I'm scared to come across as a salesman, which we totally understand that fear. So I had said in my comment or my post today that through some personal development, something that kept coming up as I was reading. Something just happened. Were you screenshotting?
Hold on. Michelle is sharing her screen, but I don't know how to unshare it. Hold on. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, cool. Keep going.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
What was I saying? No, I don't know. It's like, oh, just through some studying and stuff, and just some of the calls. What kept coming up was free groups. Now, Lacey and I have done free groups in the past. When we were in our warm market, just so you guys know where we're coming from, when we were still in our warm market, we didn't run any free groups because we didn't really know about them. We'd never gone through a free group. They weren't like a big deal or a big thing then. So we never dealt with running free groups in our warm market. It's only been through our cold market. But this, what's her name? Balick in the National Wake Up Call, she was talking about running free groups, and how she never sends out cold invites. She just does everything through free groups, which is really great. A lot of our coaches have come through free groups. A lot of our challengers have come through free groups. We've seen a lot of success by running free groups. I think a big thing right now, since there are so many network marketing businesses, so many Beachbody coaches, is that you really have a responsibility to be able to share yourself in a way that your followers know you and that they can trust you. And that doesn't really come through just a cold invite. That's kind of annoying and gross just to receive a cold invite, because we get them all the time now. So you really have to establish that baseline of trust. And one way to do that is to offer your help for free, whether it's a group or advice or motivation on your page. So I think Lacey and we're going to start running more free groups as well. But running free groups doesn't mean that you do that in place of inviting. I hope I didn't write that wrong, or that it came across wrong in my post. Running a free group doesn't mean that you stop inviting. Running free groups makes it easier to invite because you're establishing that baseline of trust. But it's still important that you follow up, because you don't want to do all this work in a free group and then have someone in your group go sign up for a challenge group or buy a program from somebody else. Because we are here to help and to serve, but this is also a business. We're running a business, and so you want to make sure that you are still business minded. And in this job, you give a lot of your time, and you give a lot for free. So you want to make sure you're still smart about what you're doing with your business. So definitely run those free groups. As far as signing up for a free account, that's really your call. Our coach and our upline had said to make those people sign up for free accounts, because that shows that they have some skin in the game. They can at least sign up for something that's free. And that's what we've done in the past. I'm starting to think, I don't know. I'm going back and forth about it. I don't know. I understand that viewpoint. Part of me is wondering if that just pushes people away a little bit further. So we'll see as we all run free groups and see how it goes from there.
I can't say though, Els, I'm just going back to that. I don't think we've ever had anybody that I've been aware of that has said, oh, I have to sign up for an account. I don't want to do it. You know, we've had people say, well, I already have a coach, or I already have a Beachbody account. So we've encountered that, but I don't think we've ever really encountered somebody that like has been super put off by having to sign up for a free account. Can you think of anybody that has?
No, nothing, nobody that said anything, but we've had people just go AWOL, like not respond back, not sign up for an account, and then not do anything. So I don't know. You're really going to have to try it for yourselves. I know I can see both sides. For me, I would have no problem signing up for a free account with this because I see the benefits. But if I didn't know anything about Beachbody, I think I might be like, if I'm already on the fence about it, like, oh, never mind. I don't know. So we're going to have to try it and see as a group how we feel about that. But yeah, so there's nothing written in stone. You do what you feel is best. Okay, but just I wanted to make a point that was I went off a little bit, that running free groups is not in place of inviting. You still need to be messaging. You should always have messages going on in your inbox, just reconnecting. This doesn't mean you have to be sending an invite to a challenge group every single day, you guys. But you should always have messages in your inbox. You should always have reconnects going on. We do want invites to be sent still. That's important. If you want to build your business, you have to have people in your group, and you have to be inviting. People aren't just going to come to you. Some people do. They do. Some people will come to you, especially when you have a wider platform, when you've shown your consistency, when you've shown that you have a following. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier that way, but especially in the beginning, people aren't just going to come to you. So establish that baseline of trust, which you can do through free groups. So you also do that through your social media, adding value in your posts, but you still need to be inviting. So yeah, but it is scary. We know it's scary. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and you figure out how to do it better. You will do it bad. You'll do it poorly a few times before you realize how to make it a little more smooth. I mean, I go back to some of my first invites and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could not believe I said that. But that's just part of the process, you guys. You fail yourself forward. You get more belief in the products. You get more beliefs in the challenge groups, and as you have a hand in changing people's lives, so it becomes easier to talk about. But this is all a part of the growing process, is doing these things that you're kind of scared to do.
That's not it.
You figure it out as you go. So, Lacey, do you have anything on that?
Nope, I agree. I mean, and I think it's also important to remember with your free groups, you will have a lot of people express interest up front, and then from those group of people, it will be cut down to a smaller group that actually, you know, either gives you their email address so you can send them a menu, signs up for a free account, whatever your next step is. And then there'll be an even smaller group that actually even joins the group and participates. You'll have different, you know, variations of participation in your free groups, and then there'll be even less people in the end that actually join a challenge group. And so it's kind of like a weeding out process. So don't feel discouraged because we are offering a free group, we're offering free support, and there's going to be people that jump on it and run with it, and there's going to be people that, like, you hear crickets. So don't feel like that is not normal. It's very, very, very normal. And basically what you're doing is you're finding the people that are ready. Because if somebody's not ready to make a change, it doesn't matter how much support you get, it doesn't matter how inspirational you are. If they're not ready, they're not ready. And so that's kind of the idea behind these free groups, is helping people establish new habits and also get a feel for what challenge groups are like and the importance of support, and then also finding those people that are really ready in that spot in their life to make a lifestyle change. So that's all I have to say about free groups.
Cool. Does anyone have any questions on those? This is more of definitely a Q&A type call, so we want to make sure that we answer. Feel free to chime in anytime if you have any questions, or write them down. You can ask them at the end too. That works. Okay, so Lace, do you want to go, do you want to head up Heather's questions, or do you want me to? Or?
Yep, her first question is about the technical aspects of recording and cutting and editing video tips and tricks. I did a little bit about how to record a video and take pictures as far as the lighting goes a few days ago, so you can check out that post. The lighting is important. As far as editing videos to post on your page or in your groups, Allie and I both use iMovie. I'll show you what the app looks like.
It's free on your iPhone, obviously.
It's that little purple one right there, the star. It's called iMovie. And what I like to do if I'm doing like exercise videos, I will put the clip in there. I'll usually record a big chunk of my workout. Like if it's usually in a circuit, I'll record one entire circuit, so it's just one big clip. I'll drop it into iMovie. I'll turn off the sound and I'll turn up the speed. And then I'll go through and cut out just little clips. I have found that when I edit, I don't like to show any more than 3 of the rep, because then it loses people's interest. So I usually stick around that number. And as far as your music goes, when you edit, make sure that it's not anything that has words, or you'll get put in Facebook jail. they'll deny your video. So I like to just look for songs that they would use in like a workout class, where there's beats to it, but not necessarily any words, any copyright infringements, any of that type of idea.
Because if you do that, then Facebook will not let you upload videos for a few days. That's happened to us a few times. Like in the beginning, sometimes you can get one that goes by, so you think it's okay to use, and then you'll use it again, and you'll get put in what's called Facebook jail, and you can't upload any more videos for a few days. So, and if you do that enough, they can shut down your account, which means you lose all your followers once you have a like page. So you just have to be careful. So
yeah, just make sure you're playing by the rules, like copyright rules. So I mean, it's nothing that's like a secret. What else about videos? When you're recording, go ahead, Al.
There's another app called Video Shop too. I use that. There's another app called Pick, Play, Post. You can do like a collage of videos in Pick, Play, Post. I used that for a while, but you can't speed up videos in that app, but you can in Video Shop. So yeah, go ahead.
As far as posting videos goes, and on our page, Allie and I have found we originally started with post the video, and then in the writing part of the post, we would write about like what we were doing in the workout, how many reps, how to do it, that kind of stuff. And we didn't really get a whole lot of traffic that way. We now use our videos as a way for people just to kind of get an idea to watch visually. But then our post content is usually whatever we want it to be. It usually doesn't have anything to do with the specific workout. It's usually more inspirational based, something that we've learned somewhere along there.
I had a large fry last night. Like,
yeah,
something like that. People like to hear stuff like that. So.
Be real, totally. Well, and Facebook, they like videos. So videos will be put into more people's feeds than pictures will. So we do like to try and utilize videos. And
sorry, Lace. They have to be uploaded to Facebook. They cannot be shared from YouTube. If you share something from a different social media platform, it gets very low traffic because Facebook wants you to use their site. So if you have a video, I don't know if you had a YouTube channel or something, don't just share your video from YouTube or share someone else's video from YouTube. Upload it from your phone if you want it to get more traction.
Great.
Okay. Or computer or whatever.
Correct.
Like 10.
All right. Do you guys have any questions? That's kind of basically the idea of videos. I can't think of anything extra that we do, but do you have any questions specifically around recording, editing, posting videos?
So also, we usually just prop our phones up on a ledge. Shannon has something called a Gorilla Pod, where you can put your phone like it's like a tripod, but it has like octopus legs that you can wrap around like a chair or your TV or something so you can angle your phone. I want to get one. I haven't got one yet. I think it's like $20 on Amazon or something like that. I've just been propping my phone up on a ledge, but it would be really nice to have that for sure. And be sure to watch Lacey's video. I know she mentioned it already, but she does a really great job at showing you about lighting and stuff like that I need to do better at myself. So yeah. Okay.
Well, and just something that we did mention in the video, but just real quick, is make sure, it took me forever to really learn this, but don't record horizontally. Don't record vertically, record horizontally. Let's see if I can remember my math here. So record horizontally, because when you go to edit your video vertically, it will cut off the top and the bottom of your video. It will only take the middle square, and so you'll cut off a lot of yourself. So record horizontally for editing. So, okay. Next question. How do I market myself on Instagram? I've always felt more comfortable on that platform and have different followers there. I think there are probably hashtag tricks and such. Okay, so with that, Allie and I, we don't know Instagram as well as we know Facebook. We wanted to get comfortable with Facebook before we branched out into other social media platforms. Now that Instagram does allow you to switch back and forth between your own Instagram account and your business Instagram account without like logging out and then logging back into a different one, I think we are going to now start jumping into Instagram. But with that being said, we don't know all the tricks. Some of the things we do know. One thing is with hashtags. Hashtags are huge when it comes to Instagram. But I have been taught to not put your hashtags in your like in your title, in your description with what you're writing. Put your hashtags into the first comment after you have posted. And you're going to want to use every hashtag that you can think of. So if you're wearing, let's say you're just recording your workout, you can do hashtag Nikes, hashtag Lululemon, hashtag Beachbody, hashtag Fit Family, hashtag like if you have like a water bottle, hashtag whatever it is that you are using is around you, is connected to fitness. Go ahead and use that hashtag because it will then allow people to search it easier. It will pop up into searches faster. And then also the idea behind putting your hashtags in a comment is so you can then go and copy those hashtags and then delete that comment and then put it again in another comment so it pops your video up to the top of the hashtag feed. So if you're trying to grow your business on Instagram, that is one trick of the trade. Like I said, we haven't done that yet, but I have heard it has been proven to be helpful. Another thing that we have available to us is I did purchase Chalene Johnson's, what is it called, Al?
Marketing Impact Academy.
Impact Academy, right. And she has a whole thing called Instagram Academy, I think it is. On there. So I think that the login information for that is in the file section. I'll double check after this. If it's not, I'll add it in there. Impact Instagram Impact, something like that. You'll see it. And she walks you through all of the steps for Instagram. Now, Instagram does change a lot, just like Facebook does a lot. So there are things that change. It's social media. It's playing a game. So I would say take her tips, but also don't be afraid to continue to search out more tips on Instagram because it is an ever-changing platform.
So another thing about this Marketing Impact Academy, I don't know if you've seen it. So Chalene Johnson is one that runs it. A lot of you know Chalene Johnson from some of her programs. She's a trainer. She did like Chalene Extreme and Turbo Jam, Turbo Kicks, whatever. But what she does is she helps entrepreneurs grow their business. So this Marketing Impact Academy isn't just about Instagram. She helps you figure out how to brand yourself. She helps you figure out and tells you the rules of Facebook. She's constantly updating the academy so you have the latest information on the different social media platforms. Lacey paid a lot of money for it. So you are more than welcome to use it. So we'll comment again in the group with the login and the password. You can use that for personal development. If you want to figure out what your brand is, how to build your page, that's a really great resource for you to use. There's also one of the national wake-up calls was Leveraging the Power of Instagram by Jen Richardson. And so that's another resource you can use when you are figuring out Instagram. So,
well, and along with that Instagram or the Marketing Impact Academy, the first couple lessons that she says over and over, start here, start here. She walks you through how to find and how to narrow down your ideal customer so that when you are posting in your different social media feeds, you know who you're talking to. Because if you're trying to reach everybody, you're going to reach nobody. But if you can really narrow down your focus and the ideal person that you want to work with and you want to help, whether that person be somebody that's just like you, no matter who it is, she does a really good job at helping you kind of narrow that down and focus in on how to build your freemium, which are like the free groups that we've been talking about, and how to market it to that person. So I would highly recommend for all of you new coaches to kind of go through those first few lessons. They do at the beginning seem a little tedious, but in the end, it is very helpful so you can know who you're talking to.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let's see, number 3. How do you schedule your day to make it most efficient? Best time management and workflow tips to save you time. Al, do you want to do that one?
I am the least organized person out of the two of us. Are you kidding me? Lacey is much more organized than me. I was just telling my husband, like, I feel like I could be so much more efficient with this business if I was more organized. So my tips are to do what I'm not doing. You need to really, what helps me is I have a list to work from when I can plan out my week. You're just going to get more and more busy. One thing, I guess the spot where you're at now, something I wish I would have done that I didn't was so you have your contact list, but I would write down when I sent messages, when I followed up, because you're going to start forgetting all of these people. And when you start doing free groups, write down your free customers. I did not do that. And now I have hundreds of customers and I don't know who went through what clean eating group when. I don't know who are my free customers, who are my clean eating customers. And I totally dropped the ball there. So I would start keeping a log of your free customers and also start tracking when you invite who, how it went, if you want to follow up and when to do that. You'll be much more efficient if you do that. The power hour. Right now I am all over the place. I do my business in pockets throughout the day with my 6-month-old and my daughter at home. They talk about a power hour or a power half hour, and when I get those in, things go so much smoother. Okay, so the idea of a power hour is you sit down and you get all of your vitals done. It helps if you set a timer. For me, if I set a timer so I have no more distractions, you sit down, you don't look at your Facebook notifications, you're in your groups, you're inviting. Whatever you're doing that thing, and you're not doing 10 different things at once. And in general, even if you're not doing a power hour, that's something that has really helped me is, I think as moms too, we multitask because we have to and we do. But in this business, I'm so much more successful if I can sit down and do one thing at a time, answer messages and then hop in my groups and then send out invites and then craft posts. I'm much more efficient and better if I can just do one thing at a time. Let's see, what else, Lace?
Well, and I think with that too, with having your power hour or your set aside times, when you sit down and you say, okay, I'm going to work on reconnecting for the next 20 minutes, or I'm going to work on inviting for the next 20 minutes, or personal development, whatever it is, if you have a time and you know what order you're going to do them in, it also allows you to then walk away, because there's always going to be something. There's always going to be another message that pops up. There's always going to be another post that needs to be written. And you can spend your whole day doing little bits of everything and accomplishing nothing. And then at the end of the day, feeling so burned out because you're like, I worked all day, but I don't really have much to show for it. But if you structure your time in time increments, saying I'm going to do this from this to this, I'm going to do this from this to this, so you know when you're going to start and you know when you're going to end, you can then close your book and walk away and say, I'm done until tomorrow or until this time when I'm going to start again. Something that's helped me outside of the 3 vital behaviors, being a product of the product, that's just kind of non-negotiable. That's going to happen every day. personal development, that usually happens for me when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm in the shower, when I am driving, something along those lines, when I can put my earbuds in. So those are just kind of fit into my day. As far as inviting, that has to be scheduled out. And so what I like to do is I like to pick one major thing that I'm going to address that day and focus on that, and then fill it in with other things. So for example, I pull out my calendar, and on Mondays, my goal is to craft 7 posts that I can just have in my arsenal to put on our page when I want to. And then the other 2 things that I'm going to do that day, I try to accomplish 3 things. So that's my major thing. And then the other 2 things will just fit in as to what I need to do. So right now I need to be critiquing pages. I need to be answering messages. Whatever needs to happen that day will fill in the other 2 posts. Then on Tuesday, I focus on my coach calls. That's my main focus, is talking with the coaches that have signed up for that date for calls. On Wednesday, I focus on recording videos. On Thursday, I focus on connecting with my challengers through their social media pages, kind of figuring out what's happening in their life. On Fridays, I focus on sending my challengers that are currently in my group personal messages to see how they're doing, to check up on them, to connect with them, to continue to build that relationship. And then on Saturday, I focus on sending those messages to my coaches. So, granted, you can run your business completely different. When I first was beginning, a lot of those things were not necessary. That wasn't, sending messages to my coaches wasn't on my list because I didn't have any coaches. So your business, the way you organize it will change and it will be different. But basically the bottom line of it for me is to have one major project that I know I'm going to focus on that day, and then let the other little things fit in where they are, with a beginning and an end time. Does that make sense?
About that too, something we hear a lot of, and something that was this is exactly how I felt when I first signed up for the first few months, is that you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm on Facebook all the time. Like, I'm on my phone all day long. And that's true. You could work this business all day long. Like, it's important, you guys, that you shut it down, or else you're going to get burned out. And that's one thing that I love about setting like an increment. Okay, I'm going to work on invites for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever time. Set the timer and just zone in on that one thing. But then when that 20 minutes is over, you're done with that for the day. And you don't have to worry about being, on your phone all day long. Like, my kids see me on my phone all day long. That was a big concern for me in the beginning. So that really helps when you set like a time amount to do one thing. Shoot, I was just going to say something else about that. It was important.
Well, I'll just say too, scrolling isn't working. It's so easy just to like scroll Facebook thinking, oh, I'll stop when I get to the end. Yeah, there's no end. And then you get to the time when you have to then get back on Facebook to get into your groups or to reconnect or to whatever it is. And you're like, oh, the last thing I want to do is open Facebook again. Like, I hate that place. But it's because you've spent all of your time in there just mindlessly scrolling through things that don't matter. So if you find yourself, at least what I do, if I find myself scrolling, which is more than I should, I literally tell myself, Lacey, walk away. Just walk away. And I'll put down my phone and I literally have to walk away, or walk away from the computer, because you are basically pouring out your personal development, all of that fuel you're getting from your personal development, you're pouring it out into something that's not going anywhere. But if you pour out your personal development fuel in reconnecting with people, then it's a win-win. But scrolling is not working. Yeah. Did you remember, Al?
No. Just know that it's okay to realize, oh my gosh, I'm on Facebook all the time. In the beginning, that's how you feel. And that in order to not get burned out and to not be on Facebook all the time, just set a timer, set a time limit. And that works best when you can work from a list. So yeah, because it sucks feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm on Facebook all the time. And you will get burned out and you have to take a day or 2 off. I did that in the beginning and it sucked.
Yeah, so totally work from a list, so you know where to start for sure. I agree. I concur.
Okay.
Okay, number 4, How do you utilize your current challengers to draw more attention to you and your challenge groups? Basically, how do you encourage them to effectively promote what you do?
So we need to be much better on this. We've seen something that we wanted to implement, but we haven't, is like a Transformation Tuesday type thing. So people, and do a transformation story from someone in your group so people can see what you're doing. And at the end of our challenge groups, we always ask for testimonials. Like the last day of the group, we ask how everything went and the results, all that stuff. And then we ask them for a testimonial for our page. And we ask permission to use their pictures if they'll let us use their pictures. So we have those things, but for some reason, I don't know why we haven't been using them. And it's great. It's great to have to build your business. So make sure at the end of your groups that you ask your challengers for a testimonial for your page. People are always willing to give them. Yeah. So.
And if you have a live page, ask them to go and leave a review or something.
You can ask for referrals. Yeah.
Referrals. Yeah, definitely. Well, and I think too, another thought on that too is, ultimately, well, maybe not ultimately, but in the end, you would like them to become a coach because you want them to then share their story and their passion and their fire and their journey. So you want them to have that fire. Now, some people do and a lot of people don't, and that's okay. But remember too that you're wanting to also encourage them to promote themselves if they're wanting to coach. Like you're wanting them to, if they have referrals and they're wanting to coach, you want them to take those referrals. You want them to coach them. Now, if they're not wanting to coach and that's not something they're interested in, then for sure, yeah, send them my way. I'd love to help them for sure. And let people know that, but also encourage people to reach out and find those people that they want to share their journey with, whether they want to coach or not. I mean, just sharing that journey is so inspirational to people. And I think too that having them share their journey on their page and then tag you or your page is also a good connection from them to you if they're choosing to not take the coaching route.
Yeah, because something you can do just in your 30-day group, one of the daily posts, we've done this in the past, is just have like Pay It Forward Friday or something like that, where the challenge for them is to post on their public page, their profile page, a picture of them working out with the intention of inspiring someone. And so that does a few things. That helps them get out of their comfort zone. That helps them cement their journey for themselves. That makes them feel more empowered. I mean, you really grow as a person as you start pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone that way. But that also gives them a feel of what it would be like to coach. And so giving them the opportunity to start branching out within your group on their own page is another thing that you can do. You can also give them the opportunity in your group to lead the group. Like maybe the last week you can assign everybody a day to post something motivational along with a daily challenge for that day. Again, that gives them the opportunity to know what it feels like to be a leader and to be a coach, and you can capitalize in your messages with them at the end of the group. Because you should be following up with them at the end of the group to get feedbacks, their results, all of those things. So that's something you can capitalize on. So yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, next question is clean eating groups. After watching Tara Balick on the National Wake Up Call, I watched all kinds of videos that she did. I liked her natural way of inviting by doing different groups aside from clean eating. Thoughts in general on free groups and ways to make them more appealing to our market crowd. We already did kind of touch on that. I think something that is important also to remember, and that's something that we're working on as well, is we ran free clean eating groups for quite a while. And then we had several people come back and say, oh, is it the same menu again? We have already done that. And so it's important to remember to still keep them desirable. I think that's one of the reasons we kind of stopped running them for a little bit, because we wanted it to still be kind of like, I don't want to say unique. What's the right word, Al? A wanted thing and a desirable thing. But if it's always happening and it's always available and it's always the same, people are just kind of like, whatever. So some of the other coaches in our group have created like a crock pot menu group. I think they've done what else? I think there's another one. There's a couple different menus in Team Empower that you can kind of switch up your free eating groups, or you can do a group about organization. You can do a group about summer, things to do with your kids during the summer, kid-friendly meals, whatever your niche is. It goes back to that Chalene Johnson thing, finding who you're talking to and then really honing in on how to help that person. Because if you're focusing on helping, let's say, working moms, but then you talk about then your free group is all about play groups. That's probably not something that's going to be appealing to them because that's not part of their daily routine. Or vice versa. If your focus is on stay-at-home moms and it's all about quick meals to take to work, it's probably not going to be something that they're interested in. So really honing in on who your niche market is and how you can best help them with revolving the groups that you offer. What do you think, Al?
Yeah, that's good. Another group that we did was faith and fitness. So we had daily small workout circuits for them to do, and a requirement for the group was 20 minutes of personal devotion time. That was popular too. And you don't even have to do anything with eating. And you don't have to do anything with fitness either. You could just anything that you think would appeal to your niche, and you don't have to be an expert on it. It's okay to lead with that too, saying, I'm not an expert in organization, but I would love to share with you what I've learned. Who would be interested in a 5-day busy mom organization group, or I don't know, come up with something cool. But you don't have to be an expert in it. Anything that you have found, any sort of system you have found that works for you, you can use that, because I guarantee there's someone out there struggling with something if you've struggled with it as well. So you might as well use that to your advantage.
Totally.
That is all.
Okay, the next question is
when to move into
a like page.
A like
pros
page.
And cons.
So you guys, Janelle Summers at Summit last year gave a speech workshop on this very topic. If you go into your back office, that's my niece. If you go into your back office and go into news and training, and then click training, I'm trying to think now, then you click on Summit. I think it's Summit. I'll post in it, and you can scroll down. You can see this call that I'm talking about, or see this workshop that I'm talking about. She does in I think it's 30 or 40 minutes long on this exact topic. I definitely recommend that you go and watch it. But and we also did another team call on this topic as well. But we recommend moving into a like page when you feel confident and comfortable on your profile page. So maybe that's 2 months, and maybe that's 6 months. I don't know. Please go out. Okay, hurry. Just be very quiet. I guess it's necessary to bring a fork and a granola bar when you need to brush your teeth. Because that's what they have. Anyways, so once you feel comfortable and confident on your profile page is a good time to move into a like page. For us, we had our page, I think 6 months after being a coach. We felt like we really exhausted our warm market. We needed to move into our cold market. We hit Success Club in our warm market and everything went smoothly. But our business really picked up when we started our like page. But we wouldn't have been successful with our like page if we wouldn't have formed the habits and being comfortable with the business through our warm market, if that makes sense. Because your warm market, at least for me, that's where I learned how to talk to people. That's where I learned about the products. That's when I learned how to recommend what products to what people. So yeah, you guys, a like page, pros and cons. The pro of a like page, once you get a good following and you've established a baseline of trust with your followers, you can pretty much guarantee you'll hit Success Club every month, okay, that we've found. So that's a big pro. The con of a like page is that you're in it then. You have to post every day. If you want your like page to be successful, you have to be posting every day, 3 times a day, every day. You kind of have to be paying for ads in order to get a following, and also to and I haven't read this anywhere that you have to be paying for ads in order for people to see your stuff, but Lacey and I turned off our ads for a few months and our traction went way down. So, but it's much more, once you have a like page, you for sure have a business. And if you want it to work, you have to be working your page. What? Are you okay? So, go ahead, Lace.
No, I was just going to say that's something that I've talked to a little bit to Lisa about. She has a like page and she hasn't started running ads yet and was feeling really frustrated with her following and with the people that were not seeing her posts. And I think a lot of it has to do with ads. Like I said, Facebook changes the rules a lot. They change their algorithms a lot. So it is kind of a trial and error game. But running ads, probably it is important. Allie knows more and can kind of go into more about ads because she kind of takes care of that stuff. I'm not good at that stuff. Got us into not a pretty spot. But the ads are important, but also to remember it is also tax deductible. So keep track of how much you're spending on ads. When you spend it, just kind of keep track of that. So you know where your money's going, so you can see that it is beneficial to you. You can run an ad or you can boost a post. Once again, Allie knows more about that, but it will get it into more people's feed, which ultimately is what you want, because then you'll not only grow your following, but you'll increase their trust in you. Because 9 times out of 10, people are not going to just come visit your page. They're going to wait for that post to pop up in their feed. And if it's not popping up in their feed, they're not seeing what you're doing. And so it's not that they're not interested in you. It's just that that's what we do as people. We usually don't go visit a page. We wait for them to pop up in our feeds. So that's your ultimate goal, is to get your stuff in other people's feeds. And that's by posting consistently, having interaction on that post, because the more back and forth you have in comments, the more posts or more pages it's going, or more news it's going to be popped into, and then also ads. So yeah, and the next question is about running ads. So Al, do you want to kind of touch on that?
Yeah. What is the question? Oh, just do you run ads?
Yeah, she mentioned running ads for 3 days on your like page to get more business. Do you run ads?
We do run ads. I kind of mentioned this in the video I did. We pay $100 a month in ads. So we run one like ad for our page, which is a like ad would be like the sponsored ads on the side of your news feed, or they'll pop up in your news feed. And then we also boost posts. So you'll notice if you have a like page, you'll on the bottom right hand corner it'll say boost, and what that means is that Facebook will put that post in more of your followers' feeds, or your followers and their friends, depending on what you select. So we pay for ad, just so we have a continuous like ad, again, $100 a month. You do not have to pay $100 a month. Like, you can pay $50 a month, you can pay $20 a month. Obviously, the more you pay, the faster you're going to grow your business. For the first while, we put what we made back into the business in order to grow the business, and that has definitely proven to be good for us, a wise choice. And then when we boost a post, depending on the post, but like when we do a challenge group post that we're boosting once a month, we'll pay $20 for 5 days. But again, that's up to you. You do not have to spend that much money in the beginning. It's totally up to you, and you can see what works and what doesn't work. We can do a call on how to set up a like ad. I should do that. I'm not an expert at it. I've only done it once with our page, but it seemed to be working. But we can do something like that if you guys are interested. So, okay. Next question is goal setting. Some of us have accepted the challenge to make it to Emerald by Summit. I'm on board, but really have no clue what that looks like. How's that for a few questions to get you started? I'm such a newbie. So you guys probably know this by now. If you said you want to do advanced rank, we're creating a private group for those of you who are wanting to push your business forward. It's called Rock Your Business. 30 days long. We're going to have posts each day to help you. There are requirements to check in every day with 3 Vital Behaviors. Yeah, she asked that question before we said what we were going to do. So that's pretty much it for that question, unless you have anything, Lace.
Well, and just, how to advance rank, that's what our call was on last week too. To hit Emerald means you have 2 coaches signed up underneath you. So basically that is how you advance rank. All of the details as to how it happens is in our call from last week about advancing rank. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that one.
So those are all her questions. So let's open it up. If anyone came with more questions, or if you have any questions from what we said, now is the time. Oh, hey, Kendra, you're here.
Hi, yeah. So I do actually have a question.
Okay.
If you could go back to your first 3 months, what would you change drastically?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm such a different person now. This business has helped me become so much more confident than I was. I wish I would not have been so fearful in the beginning. I mean, you guys, I signed up in October and didn't even run a group until January. I was so scared to even announce I was a coach. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. You're scared of what people will think of you. You're scared of coming across as a salesman. That was so me. I wish you guys knew who I was at that time, because I wasn't someone that knew something about fitness. I didn't know about nutrition, a whole lot about nutrition. I had s'mores every single night. And no joke, you guys, when we signed as a coach, 21 Day Fix wasn't out yet. And so my first program was Chalene Extreme. And I was counting calories during that group, and not kidding you, I am so addicted to desserts at night. I saved 200 calories from my allotment for dessert every single night for the entire 30 days. And that's how I started. Like, when I signed as a coach, you guys, I did not know what I was doing. Okay, Lacey didn't know what she was doing. We were in the same boat as you. So I wish I would have just pushed past those past those fears so much sooner. Another thing I wish I would have taken advantage of is personal development. I did not do that for a long time. And I can definitely see the huge impact it's had, not just on my business, but me personally. Because Beachbody is all about making you more of a well-rounded person. And I definitely feel that. I'm going to be emotional about that. I am so grateful for Beachbody, and that sounds so stupid, but I am more confident. I'm more comfortable. I believe in myself. I believed in myself before, but I believe in my impact now. I believe I can believe in people, and then I can have an effect on people. And I don't know if I really understood that in the beginning. And a lot of that came from personal development, okay, and growing myself. So if I could go back to myself when I first signed, I wish I would have just pushed past my fears, and I wish I would have done personal development and been consistent with the 3 vitals, and not done 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off as a coach. That's why it took me so long to grow my business, is because in the beginning I was like a total roller coaster coach, and I wasted a lot of time. So what about you, Lace?
I would say probably the first thing that came to mind was personal development. I didn't really understand the reason behind it, so I didn't utilize it. But personal development was, once I finally grasped the idea of what it's all about, that it wasn't just listening to a call or reading an article, but it was really about educating myself and learning and growing and being developed. That kind of really opened up a whole new world for me. So I'd say personal development and utilizing it the way it's intended. The other thing I would say is reaching out to my upline and participate, being an active participant in the team. Allie and I just kind of did our thing. Our upline wasn't really super available at the time. So we were just kind of left to our own devices. And so we just kind of got used to just using each other. And so we didn't ever, go ahead, Al.
Sorry. Our upline, if we would have reached out to her, she would have been available, but we didn't. We didn't jump on team calls. We didn't access her. We didn't seek her out. She didn't seek us out, but we didn't seek her out for help. And that was stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, we didn't tune into calls. We didn't participate in any discussions. We never had one-on-one calls. We never signed up for those. All of that kind of stuff, we just kind of figured the 2 of us was enough. But I'm now realizing like the huge opportunity that I missed out on to be an active participant in a team. And so that's kind of one of our big goals for this team with Allie and I, is for all of us to actively participate and actively put in our ideas and our thoughts and all work together and become a team. So I think that that's something I would change. And then also walking away for a little bit. Like I found myself in the beginning constantly feeling like if a challenger said something or put up a post or sent me a message, I automatically had to like respond. Like I couldn't get it out of my brain. I had to respond. I felt like, what?
That's what I was going to say. It popped in my head. It popped back. Go ahead. You finish.
Okay. So I won't lose it again. So I would say I had a hard time walking away for a while. And so eventually I had to just turn off the notifications off my phone. So I didn't even know that they were there, or else I'd keep thinking about them. And just learned, like I was saying, like I learned my business hours so that I wasn't constantly sucked into everything from morning until night, because I was left empty at the end of the day. And that's not the purpose of being a coach. If you're empty, you can't fill other people. And so for me, constantly being in my group and not present with everything else that's around me, or like partly present in everything and not wholly present in one thing at a time, I missed out on the true purpose of coaching and mothering and being a wife and being a sister. And like I've had to learn how to not try and do it all at the same time, not multitask it. So, okay, go Al. What did you remember?
It was basically what you just said. Like, but something in the beginning, you guys, you do not have to be in your groups all day long. Like, it's okay to be in your groups once a day. And in the beginning, I felt like, oh my gosh, like what Lacey just said, I have to respond to that comment, or if someone sent me a message, I have to hurry and answer that message. You do not have to do that. Your challengers are not expecting you to answer right away. Like, it's okay to be in there in the morning and then maybe be in there at night, post in the morning and then check in with everyone at night, but you do not have to be in your groups all day long. That's something that burned me out in the beginning. I felt like, because then you're giving all day long, and that wears on you, especially because then you're giving to your family all day long, and you need to just have your own like not giving time. So you don't have to be in your groups all day long. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say in the beginning.
That's awesome. Okay, so what other questions do we have? Because Kendra always gets like the gold star. She's so awesome for having questions. So who else gets a gold star tonight?
I want a gold star. I gave a talk.
Okay, you can have a gold star too.
Okay.
I'm going to start just picking on people. I think that's what we need to do. It's like teaching a lesson. Whose name do I want to call? I'm going to call your name. So either come out with a question or I'm going to call your name.
Or any struggles, or I don't know, anything you learned, you can really just say anything or nothing.
Okay, I'm not trying to brown nose here. Gold star, gold star.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, when you are running, like, so you talk about invite, like I signed up to go to Emerald, and then like 20 invites a week, I wanted to throw up.
Yeah.
So, but then when Allie posted like invites can be to a like page or whatever, it doesn't necessarily have to be to a challenge group, right? So
right.
That made me feel better, because I've also been listening to the GoPro book, and he's like, you don't want to scare people off, and I've already scared people off.
Right.
So,
everybody does that in the beginning.
Okay.
You're not alone.
Because I'm like waiting for unfriend to pop up all over my Facebook page, like, leave me alone. So how do you go about just inviting people to your like page? Or to whatever, invite me on my journey. Because I want to share with people, but I'm just like, everyone's not like, hey, I'm going to spend $140 because I believe in you, Kendra. Like,
right.
So.
No, I totally get that. I think part of having people, inviting people to join you on your journey comes from you sharing your journey on social media. I don't know if that's necessarily a formal invitation To like your like page, you can send invitations from your like page to your list, which you probably have already done.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as, I just don't want you to think that inviting means I'm going to send a cold invite to someone who has no idea what I'm doing. And because that's, you know how that is. You get those messages from all of those other companies and you don't even read the whole message because you're like, oh, I'm being scripted. You don't even respond. Okay. That's how I am too. That's not what I want you to think an invite is. So I don't think you were here in the beginning of the call. When you run your free groups, you can really have an opportunity to build trust. So when it's time to invite, at the, like maybe the end of the group, when you're messaging back and forth, it doesn't feel like gross. People don't feel like they're being prospected because it's going to come up. It's just going to come up more naturally. You've already established trust. And that number, 20 invites a week, that's a big number. We did that for a reason. Okay. We'd rather give you 20 invites a week than 5, something that's super simple. If you don't hit 20, that's okay, but it's better you hit 15 than 5, right? So we still want to give you a number to shoot for, but if you don't want to mess up the opportunity of an invite of someone who may accept later by just trying to hit a number either. And so you don't have to do so many per day. You can do so many per week. But it's still, you want to be reconnecting with people via message. And so that invite will come up. I don't know if I'm making I don't even know if I really answered your question.
Okay, wait, hold on. Sorry. I had a streaker that I had to take into the other room. Okay, so Allie might have already said this, but I wanted to throw this out there before I forgot. So this is my analogy. Inviting is kind of like the 21-day fix. So we all know that in order to be successful with your meal plan with 21-day fix, you have to prepare beforehand. You can't just wing it. When you wing it, you usually fail or you end the day with like a blue and an orange left and you're starving and that's all you get for dinner. So it's important to plan out and prepare your food in order to be successful. Now it's kind of like with inviting. In order to have successful inviting, it's important to do the pre-step of connecting with people, building those relationships, gaining trust from other people, having that back and forth reconnection. Now there's people you already have trust with. Maybe they're your neighbors or people from church that you have a good relationship with already. And so it's as you're talking to them you don't have to start from square one. But then there's other people that you went to high school with years ago you haven't talked to since graduation. And so you're obviously not going to just like, hey, I haven't seen you for 15 years. I want you to join me. Like nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to do that. But as you have a genuine interest in them and you genuinely, like we were friends 15 years ago, I want to know what's going on with you. Like, how are your kids? Where are you working? What are you doing? That kind of a thing. It's as you then send them a message. How are you doing? What have you been up to? Tell me about your kids. It's not with the goal of inviting them at the end of the message. It's what you're doing is you're preparing for success. Whether that success is a good relationship, a reconnected relationship, or it's that they join your challenge group. Either one, it doesn't matter if they don't join. You still have won with a reconnected relationship and friendship. And so I think it's, as you look at it kind of like you're preparing for success, and that success is a good relationship, and just the dessert or the extra is an invite and like a joining your challenge group. It becomes less scary to reconnect and to start these messages. So yeah, we do say 20 invites a week, but that means connected to it without even saying it's that prep work that has to go into it before that invite comes around. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does. Oh, you probably weren't asking me.
I was asking anybody that was willing to talk to me.
I'll talk.
Okay.
So you asked about inviting people to like your social media page. You can do that just in a conversation. If you're reconnecting with someone and coaching comes up, I've been running these awesome. I went through this group and it was awesome that I decided to run them myself. or whatever, or I spend a lot of time with my like page. It's love, lift. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember the name of your page now. Lift. What is it?
Live to lift.
Live to lift. There we go. I started this like page, Live to Lift. You know, you're more than welcome to follow me if you want. Okay, that's an invite. I would consider that an invite. You're inviting someone to follow you. Okay, invite someone to when you're reconnecting. I'm actually doing a free clean eating group if you're interested, or I'm doing whatever if you're interested. That would be an invite too. Or you can send out friend requests to mutual friends. That's something else you should probably be doing every day, you guys, is adding people to your network. Okay, to your you do that with your like page with ads, and with your profile page you do that by sending out friend requests. I know that sometimes that makes you feel uncomfortable friending mutual friends. I don't care. It's something that you should do. If you're serious about building the business, you need people knowing what you're doing. And so sending out those friend requests, just do it. So yes.
Did you ever have people like, how do you think you know me? Why are you friending me? What?
I've never had anyone say that. No.
Haven't
But
even-
I wish I would have written down, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I didn't write down any of the people that I was adding to my network. And so that was really stupid, because then I couldn't ever like follow up with them or find a way to reconnect with them. I was just adding people thinking, oh, they'll just be exposed to my journey, which is great too. But then they're just lost in my hundreds of friends. And I'm like, who did I friend? You know, I wish I would have written those people down. Lacey's better at that than me.
Well, and too, like when you friend request them and they choose to not like accept your friend request, they just say not accept and it's over. It's not like, who's this creeper trying to like be my friend? You know, like it's just like they just don't accept it and it's fine. It's just part of our like social media life now, you know? So
I feel like a creeper.
I guarantee you people are like, sweet, they think I'm so cool. They totally want to see what I'm doing today.
More often than not, I have people accept the request.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel better. I've never had anyone say anything negative for sure. And usually it's just something that's positive.
So it's all behind your back is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically, but which is fine with me because I don't hear it.
Right. At the end of the day, if we feel good about ourselves, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. And I tell myself every night before to go to bed, I am cool, I am amazing, and that's all that matters.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, it's 10 after 7. This is officially the longest call we've ever had. So
Yeah.
go us. And there's my husband. He can't even see your face. You just saw the middle of you. Do you want to come show your face? Oh, no, he's shy. Okay. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. There he is. We're so glad you're here. And if you have any other questions, feel free to post them on the page. We would love to answer them. I guarantee you there's other people that also have the same question that you do, so don't be afraid to ask them. So, yeah, go do your 3 vitals, set your beginning and ending time, and go team.
You are cool.
You're amazing.
You are amazing. You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Go us.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.